Hello, my name is Jessie Wallaker, and it is, what is today? I'm going to be very precise with this. It is Wednesday, April 10th, 2019. Right now, I am sitting in a one-bedroom apartment that is here. It's not my number one choice. It's not even probably my fourth choice, but it's what I'm in right now. This past year has been, and I'm not just saying 2019 as a whole, I'm saying from April of 2018 until this point in time has been a whirlwind of emotions, has been a whirlwind of change, has been a whirlwind of adventure and new things, and pushing myself and seeing what all is out there, but trusting and knowing 100% that what I am doing is what God has in store for me. Even though I am struggling, even though financially I am unstable, even though I am not doing what I feel I am called to do entirely at its fullest right now. I had to get a job. I am continually looking for jobs, even though I want nothing more than to do coaching and to work with people one-on-one and to change lives and slowly change the world one person at a time. And knowing that that is going to happen, but it just hasn't happened yet. But feeling every single day that it is just around the corner, and trying so hard to prove to God that I am doing and I'm willing to do whatever it is that He has in store for me. And that started last year with selling my house and getting an apartment part-time, thinking that I was going to become a volunteer firefighter and live at the station, but then feeling like that wasn't what God had in store for me, that wasn't really the reason. And the real reason I sold my house was to move back to a town I never imagined I would move back to become a volunteer firefighter, to live at the station, and to grow my business from there. But then once I did sell my home, once I did move back to that town, or this town that I'm in now, Mankato, Minnesota, and get a monthly apartment, even though and then to find out that after going through and being accepted into the program, and the program not starting until later, and it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, that I had this feeling, and it wasn't just out of fear that it would happen, but I had this feeling that maybe this isn't really what I was supposed to do. That maybe that was just an excuse God made for me to move back to Mankato, to sell my home, get out of my comfort zone, and completely switch and transform my life. So I'm not a volunteer firefighter. I ended up putting in my notice for that apartment. The next apartment I had planned had some issues, so I was homeless for what I thought was going to be a couple weeks, but it turned into 5 months. The first few weeks of that I was couch crashing, and then I did a week of living in a tent, and then I ended up staying with my parents back at home, and what I thought was going to be just a few weeks turned into 5 months that were stressful and not fun. And even though it was great to be home and connect with them, it was a lot of commuting. And when I was still teaching fitness classes, I ended up leaving that as well, because I wanted to leave it on a high note and not on a low note that it was starting to turn into, just because I was, through the stress of commuting and through the stress of other things going on in life, I didn't want it to end on a negative note. So I did that, and stressing about what my next step was, because I honestly didn't know. I didn't know what God had in store for me. I didn't know what I was supposed to do next, because I literally did not have the finances to move out, and I did not want to get a job, because that was a hit on my ego. That was a hit on everything that I had thrown out at God, saying that when I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this 110%, and I'm going to make this happen, and this is going to happen, because this is what you put on my heart, and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to sit on the sidelines. I'm not going to watch this dream go away because I have absolutely no idea otherwise what it is you have planned for me, because ever since and the reason I'm doing this is because I'm sitting on my floor on the one day I have off this week from work, from a job that is physically draining me because I am allergic to the area that I'm in. Even though it can be fun, it's draining me physically and mentally, emotionally. And I'm sitting on the floor just trying to recoup, and I feel the need to go through the pile of books that I still have, the very few things that I've kept from my home. And one of them is my kids' devotional Bible, my very first Bible. And I haven't gone through it, and I have no idea when. But in the front page, in the very first cover, I have this pamphlet from Big Sandy Camp in 2009. And in there, I have the only notes I took in this whole entire thing, besides what cabin I was in, is this. On Thursday, July 30th, 2009, at Night Chapel, God said, bodybuilding, that's okay. I have always wondered about this. I knew that this was the start of it all. That was the start of me leaving volleyball in order to start bodybuilding, because I knew if I wasn't going to do volleyball, I was going to do something else, which got me hooked on the gym, which got me hooked on fitness, which got me hooked on health. And I started to just embody that. And people noticed, so they would ask to work out with me. They would ask me for tips. I was the mom of any sports team I did, and that led me to athletic training, and that led me to help out with my football and basketball teams, and that led me to create new connections and to go outside my comfort zone for the first time ever, to go outside of my comfort zone for something that was bigger than me, for something that I knew God had in store for me. That something was going to come out of that, and it came from bodybuilding. That's okay. I have never once stepped on stage, and even though I wanted to do it for my own personal fulfillment and my own personal gain of like, now you are accepted because you are no longer the overweight girl that can get along with anyone. And I could not see past that. And I was just talking with my sister this past weekend of, for some reason, we are able to connect with people, and people are able to see our light and to see what we have to say and feel comfortable enough to share with us. I never saw that. I always took that for granted, but I'm starting to see that more and more, that people that I'm just acquaintances with turn into friends or close people that are willing to share anything with me. That's why I do what I do, but just seeing how I've taken that for granted, and that pushed me into getting outside of my comfort zone and actually going to college, because I was never good at school, and I hated it when it was so hard and frustrating. But for God, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to switch it from I'm never going to college to, okay, I'll go to a 2-year college, or I'll get a certification so I can do something, to, okay, I'll go for 4 years to become an athletic trainer. Okay, I'll do my master's degree if that's going to get me into the NFL, which is what I felt called to do, is something that, yeah, it's cool to do the NFL thing. Yeah, it'd be cool to be one of the first women to like get into that position, but there's so much more I can do with those people. And I know that God has something in store for me. To then find out that something I'd worked for 2+ years in order to build a good foundation for is not what God wants me to do. And then to struggle for another 2 years to figure out what that was, to end up leaving college and like being okay with that and not feeling a stigma against leaving college and not having a degree, and then living in a college town, and people are constantly asking like, what are you doing here? Just living, working? And it's, yeah, I'm just working. Yeah, I'm 25 and I don't have a college degree, so don't ask me about that. To putting my whole faith in God, getting my personal training certification, and leaving college and knowing I'm gonna have to work if I'm not in college, so there's no excuse not to putting myself out there and going out there and seeing, well, what is it that God has in store for me, and then starting to teach at the rec center, and then to just put myself out there even more and ask to do the manager position because it's something I want to do, because I wanted to open my own gym and I wanted to get the behind the scenes ideas and the actions and to understand what it was to do all of that, to do that for a few years and then decide, you know what, I want to do my own thing because I'm tired of representing somebody else that isn't me. I'm tired of representing something else when I know I could go all in, full force, hardcore, and say what it is I want to say, and do what it is I want to do, and dress how I want to dress, and feel 100% in myself, and not feel self-conscious trying to represent somebody else that isn't me. So I started my coaching. And when I first put it out there, anyone that knew me wanted to know what I was doing. And some of it worked out and some of it didn't. Some of them just wanted free advice and some of them were willing to pay and understood that what I had to offer was worth it, that what I had to say was worth listening to. And whether people buy from me or not, it's not the point. But knowing that and seeing that what I have to say and what I have to share is something that is more than just another post online. I'm meant to do something bigger and something more. And it sucks right now because I'm not. I'm just existing. I'm just trying to pay my bills. And it sucks. It sucks knowing that I'm coming up to my 10-year anniversary. It's an anniversary in my book of changing, of taking the steps to change my life to what God has planned for me. Yeah, I want to experience life and I want to have some fun adventures and I want to do certain things that are different than maybe what family or friends normally would, and to have that experience, but it's still all, how can I be of service? How can I be an asset to society? How can I do more than just work, pay bills, and die? Because I want to leave this world better than when I came here. Because I believe I can change the world. It's not going to be just me though. So anyone that I come in contact with and I give and I love on them and I support them, then that goes and affects their world and affects their circle and their people. And then that spreads. Because I know that words speak a lot, but actions say a lot more. And if something isn't what I like, if I see something that I don't necessarily care for or I don't agree, I'm not going to whine and complain about it. I'm going to do something about it. Because I can't expect somebody else to have my same passion and have my same fire and have my same understanding of something on a level that I am at. So I've never looked at something as off limits because I'm a girl, because it's a man's world. I think it's silly to see it that way. Because that's just limiting your belief. That's just limiting your power. That's giving your power and your say to somebody else. And I have words and I have things and I have voices to share and to say that nobody else can have, that nobody else will understand. So it's up to me. I'm doing a disservice to everyone else if I don't. I don't know. I don't know why I grabbed the camera. I don't know why I'm recording this. But think somebody needs to hear it. That it's not easy, that following God sucks, that knowing you have a purpose in this life can be frustrating because you're not going to see it right away. It's not going to come perfectly packaged in ribbon at your front doorstep. It's going to come with struggles. It's going to come with challenges. And it's going to feel lonely at times, but only if you let it be. Only if you let it sit on yourself and not bring other people in. Only if you put that power into somebody else's hands and pray that they will do something about it when it's you that has full force. There's only so much you can do in this world and leaving the rest to God and knowing that that's how it works. But with what you can do, taking full advantage of it. And not sitting around and praying or wishing for something to fall from the sky. Because it doesn't happen that way. It may seem like that at times in the moment, but really it was the momentum of everything you did, every little change that you applied to your life, every little thing that you started and set out to do, whether it was just with habits or whether it was with actual steps. All of that led to now. All of that led to the moment when it started to just break, when you finally had your breakthrough, when you finally came upon the scene, when you finally just showed up and took over. No one sees the behind the scenes that you live every single day. And it can be hard and it can be frustrating, but know that you are not alone. There are so many people going through life that have a bigger and better plan for their lives and for the world and for who it is that they want to touch, that are not saying a single word, that are just quietly digging through it, that are quietly crying on the kitchen floor, that are quietly crying in the bathroom, and nobody else knows. Because they are giving their love and their support and their full face to everybody else instead. So I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I just know that I wanted to say that, and I've been quiet about too many things. So yeah, this is my current struggle right now. And if you're experiencing something similar, you are not alone. But I know I'm going to get out of it. It's only a matter of time. And I am fully 100% ready whenever that time comes. Yeah, I would like it to be today. And it very well could be. And if it is, I'm ready. But if it's not, this isn't just a pipe dream. This isn't just something that I'm going to do short term. This is something that I've got a lot to do with. This is just the start. This is just the beginning. And it's only going to grow from there. So yeah, it's worth struggling and fighting for. And you need to have something like that in your life. You need to have something that you either go to every single day and you feel fulfilled and you feel like you're making a difference and you feel happy with, whether it's for other people or it brings you enjoyment. Or you need to go and find it and you need to work towards it and know that this current reality that you're in is only temporary. Because you were put on this earth for a reason. You were put on this earth with change to make, with people to influence and impact, whether small or big. And if it scares you, what you feel like you should be doing or what lights your soul on fire, that might be what you need to do. It's not going to be in your comfort zone either. It's going to be far out. But God will constantly change that. God will change your heart for what your passion is before it actually comes. It's not just going to fall in your lap and you're going to get called to the other side of the world when that's not what you want to do. He's going to make it work for you. And he's going to make it work for what it is that you do best. So if anything, take heart in that. Take light in that. And what you're called to do, what you're going to do in this world is something that you're going to be really good at. And he's going to make you really good at. What is the saying? God doesn't call the... I just heard it. God doesn't call the worried, he calls the people and makes them worthy or something. He's gonna equip you for it. Whatever it is he's got planned for you, he's gonna make it worth it for you. So he's gonna make it work. So on that note, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you, if you aren't, you make it great. Because just because it started like crap doesn't mean it has to end that way. And I don't know. I'm living my life like I don't know. And for the first time ever, I'm totally happy and okay with it. I used to need everything planned out to the hour. And if it went away from there, I would freak out and call my mom, just totally paralyzed. Luckily, she doesn't get that many calls anymore. Especially like that, which I think makes her a little nervous, but it's also a sign of growth. So on that note, have a great day. Make it a great day. Work towards what it is that sets your heart on fire, and know that what's meant to be will be. Nothing more, nothing less of that. So have a good one. Bye.